1998. What a year to be a senior in high school. And what a year to be a state champion for the Chargers of Jeffersontown. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name is Kinnane Hampton. I was 1998 state champion, 171, 38-0, undefeated.
Undefeated. And as of this filming, this is March 27th. March 22nd, 2026. You are the last Jeffersontown state champion. And we'll talk about J-Town's history and all that. But before we tackle that subject, how in the world do you get into wrestling, man? How do you find it?
Well, I'm from Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama to be exact. And I had a coach down there before high school who was like, hey, man, if you ever want to come out and try wrestling, come out to just let us know at PE. I said, all right, but we couldn't stand up. You had to be on your knees. They call it turtle wrestling. You know, you have to just try to get people on their back. They call it turtle wrestling. I said, man, this is great. And then he said, well, if you ever want to stand up and wrestle or wrestle when you get to high school, come and talk to me. I'll get you in touch with the coach at the high school. And the rest is history. I told him, said, yeah, I want to go do that. Got to high school, did that. And then I moved to Kentucky in 1996.
Now, how did you place or did you do anything at the state tournament in Alabama in your freshman and sophomore years?
No. There were some big boys in Alabama. So I would win a couple matches, then lose in the semis, then I dropped out to consolation. You know, it was just like that through pretty much every tournament. And, you know, it was really fun, but I just needed to get better. So I call that my practice. My practice runs were in 9th grade and 10th grade.
Hey, I get it. And a lot of people, youngsters, let that be a piece of advice. Just because you don't place or win a state championship or whatever, your freshman, sophomore years, junior years even, consider it practice. Get out there, do your best. And if you make it on top of the podium, awesome. But if you don't, use it as practice. All right, I know I got to get stronger. I got to get faster. I know my shots are terrible. I know I'm terrible on top. Go through, use it as practice, and keep getting better year after year, practice after practice. So
yeah, I never gave up. That's the whole deal is just don't give up just because you're not number one. Everybody wants to be number one that first year they do it.
Yeah.
Most people don't. Some do, but most people don't. But if you quit right then, you'll never know how high you could have gotten. So
yeah,
I'm glad I kept going.
I believe that's one of my favorite Nelly songs. What did it take to be number one? You know what I mean? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. That brings back a lot of. I got to see Nelly in concert a few times. He breaks that song out. It still bangs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he still got it.
That. Nostalgia.
So when you moved to Kentucky, coming into that junior year, was it just that your family or you moved to Jeffersontown and they had a wrestling program, or did you move? Like, did you seek out J-Town because of the wrestling program?
No, when I got to Kentucky, it was like, hey, you're gonna get moved out or bussed out to whatever school is in like where you live, right? Because there were schools right down the street. I lived in Louisville, but I had to be bussed out to Jeffersontown, which was like, I guess about a 30, 35-minute ride on the bus. So it was, the good thing was it had a wrestling team, and I knew I liked wrestling. So I was like, it's too late for me to jump into football, which I did play football my senior year, but it was too late in the year through the summer when I moved up to Kentucky to play football and wrestle. So I just bided my time. They said the wrestling was opening up, and so I went ahead and went out there.
Awesome, man. No, that's an excellent story. So let's talk about the Jeffersontown individual state championship history. As of this filming, like I said, this is March 22nd, 2026. J-Town has 4 individual state champions. 1982 and 1983, Larry Little at 167 pounds. 1983, Philip Shipp at heavyweight, and then you in 1998 at 171 pounds. And I will say, this year at our state tournament, Jeffersontown had a brand new mat. I mean, just a beautiful new black mat with the maroon and white. It was just really brand new off the truck. So my best way, you don't go out and invest $7,000-8,000 on a mat if you're not serious about it. You know what I'm saying? So we could be seeing some big things coming from the Chargers. So
Sure hope so.
yeah. I don't remember the name of their coach, but now, like I said, now we got girls wrestling. So I can't imagine, like I said, you're going to invest that much in a mat and not have some hammers coming up through the pipeline. So let's talk about your Kentucky run. In 1997, at 171 pounds, you come in 4th place as a junior. So that's a pretty good showing. First year in Kentucky, 4th place. Now, Kentucky only places out to 6th back then, and it was only one class. So if you made it on the podium, you've done something, right?
Right. That's right. I was very proud of that year. Like I said, it was my first year in Kentucky. It was kind of that, you want everybody to know who you are. No one knew who I was because I had just moved there. But once I got to the wrestling mat and I ended up placing in state, everybody knew my name at my school. Then people around town knew my name. And then people at other schools knew my name. And it was kind of hard to get past what everybody called me, K9. Everybody called me K9 instead of Kinnane, which was cool because when they call out my name when I'm going to do the wrestling, it's like Kinnane Hampton, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a good name for a guy.
Yeah, he's got that dog in him, K9.
That dog in Kinnane Hampton.
Now wrestling on mat number 2, the dog, K9 Hampton. I like that.
Yeah,
so you place 4th as a junior. You play football for J-Town. Coming into that senior year, do your coaches set you down and say, listen, K9, you've got a real chance to win this thing this year, or we really got to, you're strong enough, you're fast enough, you have this, you have that. I think if we really focus on this in the off season or focus on this in the practice room, because it all can start with good coaching, recognizing that you really need improvement here, and that's where we're going to focus, right?
Yeah, but let me back up a little bit, talk about 2 coaches. My football coach, Coach Maddox, he said to me, now, K9, if you focus solely on football, I can get you a scholarship in football. I said, okay. I said, but Coach, I got 4th last year. I think I have a good chance to do even better this year in wrestling. He said, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. It would be good for you to get stronger. It'd be good for you to get better technique in football. But if you have to go after football season and instead of just continue to work, continue to get bigger and stronger, that's your decision, right? So I went to my other coach, my wrestling coach, and I told him what Coach Maddox said, and he said, well, you're probably not going to win anyway.
Huh?
I said, what? He said, yeah, you're probably not going to win anyway unless you really, really focus and try to get better, right? My coach, I love him like a father. Coach Bob Haydock, I'm telling you, he's like a second father. And I've always felt like that because of how hard he pushed me. He said, "Oh, you want to?" He never said, I never said I wanted to quit, but he always made it seem like, "Hey, if you're gonna quit, then just quit. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. But if you focus and you do what you're supposed to do, you will. There's no telling how high you can go." I said, "All right, well, coach, I'm gonna believe in that. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm coming back next year, and that's what I did."
Man, that's a great story. And a lot of times nowadays, especially in today's world, you have high school, middle school, elementary kids. They're playing the same sport or maybe multiple sports all year. They go straight from football season to wrestling or to basketball, then from there to baseball, then from there to off season they're going on these travel teams or Team Kentucky or whatever. And you hear the experts, quote unquote experts, say don't specialize in a sport or don't focus all your energy, don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to sports. Play as much as you can. And I agree with that to a point, but you need to be mindful that burnout can be a real thing for kids.
Yeah,
Burnout can drive kids away. Burnout can, I don't want to do that. I'm tired of it. Put all that time, effort, energy into it. And they hate playing the sport because they're just so burned out on it. My advice is as long as they want to play it, no matter what it is, let them play it. If you see they're good at it and they kind of want to start specializing in it, okay, great. If you want to not play football anymore, Bubba or sis, and you want to wrestle, or you want to do this, great. We're not going to make you. As long as you want to do it, you can do it. If you want to take it easy for a while in the summer, cool, great. We're not going to force you because so many kids quit sports on the ride home from practice after games, come home, have a bad performance in football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, and they hear it from the coaches, they hear it from mom and dad or guardians, big brother, little brother, whatever it is, little sister, and they're just like, I'm so done with this. So I know I said a lot there, but parents and guardians, coaches, recognize when your kids are having fun with it and when they're not.
Right.
Because they will get better when they're having fun. That is just the way it is, right?
Yeah, that's definitely right. I mean, I've had plenty of times where I felt like, man, and I think a lot of people actually do that, where they feel like they should be moving up like this, but they're actually moving up a lot slower. And they're like, man, I don't know if this is really what I want to do because they're not jumping to the top, But, if you have the right people behind you and saying the right things to you, I think you'll be ready to go and be better. You're willing to push yourself to be better. But if you're not, like you said, if you're not having fun with it, then, it might not be the thing you want to do. It might be something else that you can do that you're just as good at. Yeah. But, you won't know until you try.
Absolutely. And speaking of having fun, you had fun in 1998 at the state tournament, so let's talk about it. 171 pounds. You start off the state tournament with a 3-minute, 7-second fall over Jacob Pike from Central Hardin. In the quarters, you win a 8-4 decision over Scotty Teeter from Tate's Creek. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Scotty Teeter, he's been the coach at Tate's Creek now for probably 8 to 10 years. He's still really involved with the sport. So he's really involved with the Coaches Association. So tell us about that match.
That guy is tough. I wrestled him so many times, and I don't think I ever pinned him. I did lose, but yeah. I never pinned him. That guy was so tough. It was like every time I would wrestle, I see him on there, I'm like, it's gonna be another long one. Yeah. tough. Congratulations to him on going on to coach Page Creek. That's good. I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, and he, like I said, he's been not just at Tate's Creek, but around the state and specifically in Lexington. He's been involved with a lot of youth coaching and middle school, high school stuff. So he's been around the sport, man, for a pretty good while. Then you get to the semifinals. You're wrestling we got some Louisville on Louisville crime here. You're wrestling Ben Shook from St. Xavier. You win a very close decision, 6-4, and Ben would go on to get 4th place.
Yeah, Ben Shook. My coach, Coach Haydock, his son went to St. X. So whenever we would wrestle against St. X, I would always be like, hey, Coach, don't forget, man. Don't forget about me. I know your son wrestles over there too, but don't forget about me. You know, Ben Shook was tough also. You know, just like you can see by the score. I didn't wrestle him as many times as I wrestled Scotty Teeter, but you know, each time I wrestled him, it was really close.
I got you, man. And it should be noted that year St. Xavier won the team state championship. They're one of the very few teams that won the team title without an individual state champion, and they're the only team that's ever won the team title that didn't have anybody in the finals. So they were loaded from 103 to heavyweight that year. They were a good team.
Yeah, they were, but there were some other teams that were loaded too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Woodford County.
Yeah. Woodford's always tough, man. Woodford's always tough. You get to the finals, and you're wrestling Delmar Watson from McCreary Central. Now, had you wrestled Delmar before?
I never did. That was my first time wrestling him.
I was going to say, what a first time to wrestle somebody that you've never seen in the state finals, right?
Exactly. I didn't know what to expect. You know, when I was at state, I was just focusing on my matches or, you know, people around me that I knew. But I don't know. I thought it was going to be somebody else, and it ended up being him. I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll see how it goes.
Now, you're coming in to the state finals with a record of 37-0. He's coming in with a record of 26-0. So what's the old saying in boxing? Somebody's O has to go.
Yeah, two. Yeah, that's what they say.
For those that don't know the geography of Kentucky, of course, Louisville, Jefferson County, and then you guys will see a map, and then McCreary County is down on the Tennessee border. It's about 150 miles between the J-Town's campus and McCreary Central's campus. And there's not too many schools in the state of Kentucky that you can have a bigger demographic shift than McCreary Central and J-Town. Just trust me on that one. I promise you. You're not going to find a bigger demographic split or shift difference than there. So you were there in 1997. You got to see the finals, got to see how it was done, the lights coming down, you know, the whole shebang, the music, all that. When you win that semifinals, knowing that you're going to be in the main event, if you will, under the lights, what's going through your head?
There was a lot of time. There was a lot of time between because they had to get through all the constellation, the constellation final. They had to get through a lot of stuff before in all the different weight classes. They had to get through a lot of stuff, and there was a lot of time. And I didn't have a ride, so I had to sit there all those hours, and I just sat there just watching, you know, walking around. I would walk around and just look just to try to, you know, stay loose, stay focused. But I just remember how much time there was. There was so much time between the semifinal and the final match.
Yeah. Now, before we pull it up here, how long has it been since you think you've watched this match video?
Spoiler alert, I have never, ever watched this match. ever. I haven't seen it at all. I've seen only when I won it, like the 10 seconds where I put my hands up. I haven't seen any other part of it. So this will be my first time watching it.
Now, just behind the scenes here, I put out lists periodically of the match videos that I have, the match videos that I'm missing, and also a year by year breakdown of the individual state champions from the years that we're missing. And 1998 is a great year of wrestling. We'll go over the names here just in a little bit, but you were hard to find. You were very difficult to track down. And our buddy Dean Williams from Seneca, we saw him a couple times, and because I keep a list of who I'm missing and all that, and he's like, man, I'm trying to find people in the city that know him. I guess, no, you kind of just up and vamoosed out of Louisville. And, of course, Dean retired out of the Marines, so he'd been gone for 20-some years out of Louisville. And then all of a sudden I put that list up, and there you are. I'm like, how in the world did all this time you just miraculously pop up? So I sent you 3 individual screenshots from your match, one from the face-off, one from the actual match video, and then one from you, I believe, on the podium. And it was, I love being able to give people their video back to their family, their friends, people they've met after school or after, how life takes you, no matter how many years it's been. And that way you can have it forever. And especially people, dads with kids talk about, dad, getting them on here and hear them say, dad said he was this and that. I think I could beat him. His shot's pretty bad. You would, I'm telling you, the number of kids that we've been at meets, officiating or state tournament, they'll come up and I've not met them except on Zoom, and they'll bring their family over. We'll, high five, shake hands, all that kind of stuff with them and their family. And the amount of kids are like, my dad's shot was terrible. Or, my dad, he couldn't get that half Nelson on me. He can't get it on me now. I can't imagine how bad he was back then. And you're like, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that we're able to give that video back to you. And before we start filming, I think you're going to bring a guest in. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my wife in here. She was there.
Go ahead.
She was actually there. Yeah, she was actually there at the state championship match. She was there, so she saw me win, but she's never seen the video. Just like I haven't seen it.
All right. If you would go ahead and bring her in and give her an earpiece, that way she can hear the audio. Now you guys are seeing what we're seeing. 1998 in Frankfurt at the Dungeon, the best atmosphere the KHSAA has ever produced. Such a electric environment. The way the fans were, the way that the arena, the fans were right on top of the mat. If you never got to go to a state finals or state tournament at the Dungeon, you missed out. I mean, you just that building. I don't know if you know this or not, but the actual building there got imploded about 10 years ago now, and it's just a vacant lot. Yeah. Now, before we go on, it looks like you went and got something and you put something on. What do you got on there, man?
Yeah, this is my warm-up. This is the actual warm-up that I wore during the entire season back in 1998. Still fits. I didn't outgrow it or anything. Still's got my name on there. Kinnane Hampton. The J-Town on the back.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. And that for real may be the best mispronunciation of a name ever. Kinnane. I love it. And I love that it's on your jacket too. You know what I mean? I love that. So this video has the face-off, the match, and the medal ceremony, man. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, man. The crowd drowns out the name and everything.
Yeah.
Right there.
And there's that warm-up you got on currently.
That's it. And there he is.
Yeah, I was going to say, man. So I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And he grabbed he put his arms through my legs, and I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Now,
he goes to lift you right here, but you do a good job of fighting it off.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know if he's
trying for that switch, nothing yet, and he gets a takedown on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, were you a better neutral wrestler, a better on top wrestler, a better on the bottom? What was your bread and butter, man?
I feel like I was better on standing. I felt like I had a very good chance to pick people up just like I did there, but Delmer, I don't know how he did it, man. He just reached under my legs, and when he grabbed it, I couldn't like flip him over, and so that's why I ended up on my stomach. My coach,
I got you.
My coach was probably yelling at me right there. He's like, "Hey, you're supposed to take him down."
Yeah. Yeah. So he's on top here. It looks like he's trying to work for some type of like a 2-on-1 tilt or something to that effect. He's trying to run a half there, but you do a good job of defending it.
Just trying to sprawl out, stay flat so he can't flip me over.
Mm-hmm. Now he gets hit for stalling on top. I'm not saying that I don't agree, but you got, it looks like he was working, but
I feel like when I had my hands on my hips, I was not in shell shock, but I was just like, how in the world did I not get those points right there? I said, I should have got those points, but I didn't. We were working, trying to get out, and get standing up.
And takes you back down. And I'll give him credit, man. He did an excellent job of riding you right here in this first period.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that was a very fast-moving first period. Very fast. You look at the referee and you take down. Now, I was going to ask you, did your coach tell you to take down?
Yeah, he said take down so that he told me to take down because he felt like I would have a better chance to get up, even though I didn't get out during the first period. Even though I didn't get out, I felt like my coach felt like I was so close to getting out there that would be a good way for me to get that first point that I needed.
Yeah. And you're trying for a switch there, but he does an excellent job keeping your hips down.
Yeah. I was worried that if I kept my arm back there, he might be able to I got to switch now, but I felt like I might get put down on my back. So I was like, don't do it.
And you get the reversal, so now we're tied up 2-2. Now on top here, what was your go-to turn, tilt? What are we looking to do on top?
I think I'm going to try to go for a half Nelson and try to flip him over. Hold his arm right there and then run the half Nelson and flip him over. But he gets up, try to bring him back down. But I need to keep him in the middle so I can run that half. See, I got the half now, but
yeah,
that dude's strong, man. He's tough.
All right. Now, you get called for an illegal hold. 1 point green, illegal hold. It looked like you may have had a full Nelson.
So what actually happened on there is I had a half Nelson. He grabbed my hand with his other one, and then when he went to grab my hand that was on the back of his head, it looked like I had him in a full Nelson, but I didn't. That's why I was like, "What are y'all talking about? I don't have him in a full Nelson. He had my hand."
That was smart on his part.
Yeah, he had all the moves, man.
So
You can
it's now
you can barely tell.
he's up 3-2, and this has been a very kind of a grinded out type of a match. You know what I'm saying? Nothing flashy, nothing crazy, just 271-pound dudes going at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's going to break first?
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know him. I had never seen him do it. I had never wrestled him. I had never seen him wrestling. So I feel like I should have been trying to feel him out, but I wasn't. I was just trying to do the things that I do. But man, he was tough, man.
You know, I think coaches say the old phrase, wrestle your match. You know what I mean? Do you remember how loud the crowd was that evening?
Yeah, the crowd was like really loud. I think a lot of people, I don't know if the people from J-Town came out, but it was a lot of people yelling for me. I felt like they were yelling for me, and especially when, well, yeah, they were yelling for me.
I get it. And here in a minute we'll talk about the 1998 state champions who all was there. So now it's his choice, and
yeah,
he's going to take down, and you're going optional start here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now 4-2. He's on top, 4-2. You shoot in and get a blast double, and you get a takedown. Well, he's still fighting, I should say. He's still. Give him credit, man.
Man, I'm telling you.
He gets the takedown. It wasn't from a lack of effort on your part, though. You tried. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I felt like I had the takedown, but for whatever reason, I just didn't get it.
Yep. And you get the reversal.
And we're going back for half Nelson. I keep going back with that, trying to get him on his back because I'm still down. And I tried to turn him back to bring him back into the mat because I felt like I had a good position on him. Oh, this match was tough, man.
Yeah.
So like at any point I could have just said, forget it.
Now you get a point there, and I believe the referee called fleeing the mat. Or that's what it looked like anyway.
Mm-hmm.
A technical violation, fleeing the mat. You're going back optional start. He gets another escape point there.
Yeah, I feel like, I didn't want to waste a lot of energy if he was going to get up and escape anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My coach was smart. Here, keep doing the optional so that you can still have the energy to take him down. And here we go.
There it is. You get a takedown, and that time you made sure you got it, right?
Yeah, because he keeps going so close to the edge of the mat, so that I feel like if I did get something, he would be close to the edge of the mat where he can get out.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. Just looking at this match, I feel like I had so many opportunities, right? Like inside of there, I was just looking at it, I'm like, no, do that. No, you shouldn't have did that. You should have did this. There's just a lot of opportunities. Like one is, I feel like I should have just kept letting them up to get the takedown, the 2 points for the takedown, and give up the 1 point for the escape because he did an excellent job escaping.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt
that's the end of the regulation. We have a 1 minute overtime period. We're tied 7-7.
And he's breathing hard. I'm breathing hard. And neither one of us.
I'm breathing hard watching you.
I was glad that we were standing, though. I'm glad I didn't have to be on top, because I felt like if I was on top, he may have gotten a point. In the crowd, oh man, the crowd was so loud. I just remember how loud it was. I could hear people that were cheering for me. I could just hear them. I could hear my coach, my teammates. They're all just cheering for me, trying to, because this is it right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
absolutely,
anything
man.
right there. Oh yeah.
It all comes down to this. We're out of bounds. Now, for those that don't know, the out of bounds rule in 1998 is completely different than what it is in 2026. So that's why we were called out of bounds there.
Mm-hmm.
And you shoot in, or he does a good job defending right here.
Mm-hmm. When I first shot, I said, I got him. All I gotta do is tilt him over and he's gonna fall. Mm-hmm. But he was tough, man.
And we're still going. Nothing yet. We got a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why you do those extra reps in practice, kids. This is why you run that extra mile. You lift that little bit extra weight for moments like this.
We've been going at it like completely wasting our like neither one of us had anything left.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need just something.
And you get one more burst of energy.
I said, I got him.
He knows enough to reach through the crotch there.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's it. No.
You spin behind, you get the takedown, and there it is. You win. Final score 9-7. You cap off a 38-0 undefeated season.
Those wrestling shoes I got on right there, undefeated. They never lost.
Wow.
Still got those too, but they're packed away somewhere.
And here's the medal ceremony.
Oh, still tired.
I was going to say, you can tell you're exhausted.
Oh, yeah. No better feeling, though, I tell you that.
There it is, man. All these years later, does it play out the way you remember it?
I remember overtime. I remember winning. I remember how loud the crowd was. This was 27 years ago. So there are just certain things that I will probably never forget about that. Like I said, my wife was there. And, I think she married me because I'm joking.
I get it. Hey, listen, you'd be surprised the number of guys over the years that we've done videos with that said they married a mat maid or married somebody that was, like a wrestling cheerleader or whatever. So I get it, man. You made a lasting impression on her. You know what I mean?
I heard that. That's a blessing for me.
Yeah, for real. Now, let's talk about the 1998 state champions. And you make you're the 13th of 14 1998 state champions we've got on the channel. So let's talk about them real quick. 1998, Chad Hayden from Franklin County. You remember Chad? If you don't, I just didn't know if you remember him or not. 112 from Henry Clay, Drew Carmen. 119, Josh Priest from Sheldon Clark. Of course, our buddy Dean Williams, 125 from Seneca. 130, 130, Dylan Bell from Scott.
Yes, I remember him.
135, Chris Dunn from Woodford County.
Yes, Woodford County, yes.
140, Dave DeStefano from Simon Kenton.
because of his last name, I always was like, hey, that guy's got a long last name. His last name's
Yeah.
longer than mine.
Yeah. The person that we're missing is 145, Clint Bell from Scott, Covington, Scott. So, Clint, man, if you watch this or somebody knows how to get up with Clint, holler at me. 152, Rick McCarthy from Fern Creek, a fellow Louisvillian. Most outstanding wrestler that year, Ian Horn from Woodford County, three-timer, great wrestler. Of course, you at 171. Jason Dietrich from LaRue County at 189. Josh Whitaker from Woodford County at 215. And then Chris Floyd at heavyweight. So, man, a lot of big-time names on that list. And, of course, you add to that 1998 Mystique and Legacy and all that. So, man, we've talked a lot about that 1998 match and stuff. Is there anything you'd like to say or add, take away, anything of that nature, man? The floor is yours.
No, I just remember being up on the podium. I actually have a picture. It was blown up. One of my teachers did it for me. It's a picture of me standing on top and, everybody being on there. And I just remember looking at it and saying, I'm just so blessed, so happy to make it through, because there was plenty of times then, just like what we talked about earlier, there's plenty of times when I may have felt like, oh man, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Funny story. That year, my coach Haydock, he brought in some of the people that had won state the years before just to wrestle me. They would kick my butt. They kicked my butt every single day. It was tough. Like I said, my coach, he was very tough on me. It just made me so much better. Mm-hmm. And then when I won the state championship, some of those guys were there, and they came up to me after the match. And it was like, man, I told you it was all gonna work out. This is the stuff that you gotta do. You gotta get beat up every day. You gotta run hard every day. You gotta work hard every day. And man, I tell you, just having them do that for me, man, I really appreciate it, because I get to have this video with you today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So if anybody is watching this, know how to contact Larry Little or Philip Shipp, the J-Town state champions in the 1982 and 83 season, please reach out to myself, reach out to Kinnane. He's got my number. Or just about anybody we've got on the series so far. We'd love to get up with those guys and be able to put the entire Jeffersontown State Championship video collection on the series just to have. Now, did you go on to college and wrestle or do anything like that?
I did. I went to UK, and but they didn't have a wrestling team per se. They had a wrestling club, mm-hmm. And I did that for a year, and then after that, I just started moving on with everything. I also played football there, but then I just went on and did some other things. So.
Oh, you played football at UK?
I did.
No kidding. What position, man?
I played defensive end. Yeah, defensive end.
Wow. So I guess, would you have been on the team with Tim Couch that beat Alabama?
So I met Tim at practice one day, but I was on the JV team. So I didn't interact with him all the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, we had a really good team. Craig Yeast was on that team.
Yeah.
Derek Homer was on that team. I mean, yeah, we had a good team.
Yeah, oh man, I'm a big UK football, basketball, anything UK, man. Everybody knows to watch this channel. I'm a big UK fan, and I'm glad you said that, because I would have had no idea, man. That's cool. I'm glad you mentioned that. So I believe we've talked about it enough and said all we need to say, man. Greatly appreciate you taking the time this evening to do this. Really appreciate it. It's been a long time coming. And thank you to everybody that was able to get us hooked up and be able to get on here and tell your story. I've said this in so many review videos, and it rings true in every single one, is we've had great wrestling in Kentucky for a very long time, But our problem is it's been hid for far too long. And with this review series and stories like yours, people are finally getting to see what we have known about, people in the community, wrestling community's known about for so long, and now the world's getting to see it. And it's people like Kinnane Hampton that adds to that Kentucky wrestling legacy. It just is. I don't care who you are. That it's every individual state champion that we meet with. A little piece of knowledge gets planted, and a little bit of intrigue, and a little bit of what? Whoa! I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about this series is how it's brought the wrestling community together and opened up our community to a whole new world. It really just has. So, ma'am, thank you for doing this. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys and girls on the mats.